Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to ChippysCouch. So we're back for another day of Assassin's Creed multiplayer. Nah, I'm just kidding. That just seems to be like all I ever talk about. We're back for another day of Masochist mode, and today's episode opens up inside of the jungle, and that's because it's my goal today to take down Plantera. Now, since we spent like a whole day doing this yesterday with our new Summoners build, I'm going to do some editing, cut ahead, you know. I really want to go for that victory, because I've shown you enough of Plantera now. We all know that she's blue, the novelty is worn off. But then after that, we've got Golem and like a whole other bunch of stuff to do today. It's going to be a bit action-packed. So the arena is the exact same as yesterday. Everything's the exact same. Other than the fact I have 2 extra pieces of life fruit. I know, going to make a big difference. But I'm just going to like be silent and prepare and, you know, I'm going to work my way through it. Because we almost beat it yesterday. We had like a bit of a clutch at the end. So that's my goal and we'll see what happens. Alright, we're coming kind of close to the end. I don't know if we're actually going to win this one or not. Or it's like, you know, we're going to get like a Moonlord at the end. But it seems pretty close. And there we go. Nice. Like I said, boys, 2 bits of life fruit actually does make a little bit of a difference. That was actually a pretty fun fight. I feel like compared to some of the other bosses that were fought against, I feel like Plantera was really tame, considering that probably was one of the worst builds that I could possibly use for her. But hey, it's done, you know, nobody's complaining around here. I'm glad it's done. There is something that I would really like, though. I would love if I could get a pygmy staff so that I could continue using my... But now I see this. I was going to say using my summoners build, but now I see that there's a brand new modded yo-yo. And now the yo-yo inside of me is like, screw the destroyer gun. Your boy needs to use a yo-yo. So I think it's probably best that we head out of here. Let me just make sure I've grabbed all of this money on the floor, because we're going to need lots of money, just like in the upcoming episodes, right? It's going to get expensive. We're going to need to buy a lot. All right, let's head out of here. All right, let's dump this back in here, and then we'll Great, good job there, mate. Just loot all that back. Thank you very much. Let's just dump that inside of there. Okay, so let's have a little look. Let's dump away some of this stuff, and then we can see exactly what we got. Don't need any of this. This is all fine. Right, this is probably enough to actually look inside. So we got the Plantera bag. Let's open that up. So we ended up getting an Orion's set. This is like a vanity set. And here's what it looks like. Let's get rid of that for a second. It's kind of cool. It almost looks like a resprite of the Lunatic set. I don't know if I'm like too into it, but I guess it looks a little bit better than having like big spider limbs like hanging off your back. That don't look too great. So here's the yo-yo then. Let's have a little look at this. Ooh, okay. So it leaves behind spiky balls that fling apart. It's also a fairly large yo-yo. Like I feel like the yo-yo itself is like a beast mode yo-yo. This is cool. This makes me like regret not having it in the series. I just didn't know it existed. That's pretty chill. We got the Venus Magnum. Cool. We got the Spore Sack. We got the Temple Key. So ultimately, I would say it's probably not exactly what I wanted, because I did want to see a Summoners build and like see how that would work out. But that being said, like what can you expect? So we also got the Magical Bulb. Grants immunity to Venom, Ivy Venom, and Swarming. Increases life regeneration. Attracts a legendary plant's offspring, which flourishes in combat. Okay, what's this going to be? Give me a little Plantera. Oh, we got a little Plantera. That's cool. Flourishes in combat, though. You just know that that's going to be, like, important later on. Like, you know you're going to be fighting something, and then, boy, you get a big Plantera. Or at least I hope that's going to be the case. Okay, so opening up the jungle crates as well. All just great for money. We can flog all of this. Thank you very much. Flog, flog, flog. Don't need any of it. Although I'm beginning to like save some of these little like accessories where I'm like, you know, I probably don't need it, but it might come into play later on with one of the like mega accessories, which is something I should definitely talk about because everybody else wants to talk about it. So I do know that there are accessories like really end game that require like 1 million items. Don't worry about that. I'm going to go get all of those items at some point. I won't be making every single enchantment though, because that just seems like it'll just be boring. I'm not going to lie. There's like 50 enchantments. There's a lot to do there, right? It's definitely like something where you can pick and choose what you want. Oh, a clown has begun ticking. Let me use this and see if my Plantera does anything. Flourishes during combat, though. I hope it's, like, better than what this is. I hope we get our own Plantera. That'd be so sick. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I might actually purchase a Plantera treasure bag. So let's have a little look. Plantera, bam. Okay, open it up. We got the pygmy staff. We also got the axe, which is something I don't get very often. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Okay, so the reason I did that, of course, is because I want to buy the full set of Tiki armor so that I can continue with my my little summoner's adventure. Now, I wonder if this is actually going to turn into, like, a spider enchantment. Probably so, right? Yeah, spider enchantment. So you combine the spider staff, the queen spider staff. You also need the web slinger and the spider egg. So that's the only thing about this that I don't have, but I think I have one of these. I'm pretty sure I do. So what does this do? Arachnophobia is punishable by arachnids-induced death. Your minions can now crit with a 20% chance, and it summons a pet spider. See, that's really cool. Like, it's cool to know that you can do that, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's the most important thing in the world to make that. You know what I mean? Oh, I also got the seedling. So the seedling I know turns into something bigger as well. So this turns into the chlorophyte enchantment. And this is something I didn't make because... See, now I wish I didn't sell those little jungle crates. I bet you I've probably sold some flower boots in the past. So I did know that this existed. Summons a ring leaf to shoot at nearby enemies. Taking damage will release a lingering spore explosion. All herb collection is doubled, effects of the flower boots, and summons a pet seedling. So once again, that is kind of cool, but I wouldn't say that it was like cool enough to be like, alright, we definitely need this. Okay, so let's keep the axe out. What we're... Nice. Yeah, what we're about to go do, by the way, is we're about to go prepare our Golem arena, basically, to go and see if we can actually do something good with it. I think that'd be cool. Is this better? Or are these better? I wonder if this had a reforge. This is probably better, but these seem very, very similar. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're going to go prepare our Golem arena and go see what that's about. I think what I'll do is I'll probably use my trick where I bring it onto the surface because it'll be a bit of a pain. If not, I'm going to need to buy some new tools. I've got a bit of a bad habit with these, right? If I ever do wiring, I just make the wire and then I just sell it again. Like, I never go, oh, you know what? I should maybe put that wrench away and all of that wire. Nah, fam. Not about it. Okay, let's grab one of these as well. And then we should be good to go. Yeah, we're going to go to the temple. All right, I'm going to flick this switch. Bam. Get myself a lizard altar. Set myself on fire. That's all good, fam. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be more about just seeing what Golem is like. It is, once again, like yesterday, a bit of a test run. I don't necessarily think I'll win first time, but I do know with Golem is such a pushover, and I wonder if Masochist mode itself can do anything about that. Knowing Masochist mode, maybe, yeah, it can make it really hard, but knowing Golem, on the flip side, it's probably going to be really easy. So I'm kind of torn how I feel about this boss just in general. I don't know if I'm going to steamroll it, or I'm going to lose to it. But my gut, like my actual natural instinct says, I'm probably going to win. Which is bad, right? But it's always good to have these moments, because then you can look back and be like, what an absolute idiot. Okay, I'm going to keep the Plantera Bull Bomb, just in case anything happens, right? I want to see what our very own Plantera can do. Okay, so we've got that. We've got all of our summons. We're fully healed. And my Terraria's actually crashed. Wow. Alright, so my character apparently is in the state before I took the little, like, altar thing. So I'm wondering if it was, like, the boss that caused the crash, or it was just Terraria being funny. So I'm going to go quickly grab the altar. I'm going to come back and we'll try it one more time. If it crashes again, we know the issue. We can, like, send it to Fargo. But knowing Terraria, it's probably just, like, being goofy. There's an update to Tmod Loader today, apparently. So I might download that as well. Don't worry, we'll troubleshoot it, but I think it'll be fine. I did get to see, because I was looking back at my editing software to make sure that the footage was alright. And I got to see for like a flash second the colour Golem's going to be. I'm very excited. You can like leave your predictions down below if you didn't see the flash as well. And I think you'll be surprised. I don't think this one kind of like aligns with the rest. Buff up. Yep, there we go. Right, so I'm fully prepared. We'll get some pygmies in, even though they're not as good as the twins ones, apparently. And we will begin. Bam. Okay, cool. Golem works. That's great to know. All right. So let's see what happens here. So far, it's pretty normal, I would say. I feel like my, oh! Haha, that's kind of cool. So the platforms don't work. That's what it's doing. The platforms don't work. I just keep falling through them. As you can see, some of them have got like this like oily shadowed effect on them as I fly through them. I'm wondering if that is like just a glitch right now. Look, as you can see, they change color when I fly through, but they don't work. Ah, that's kind of interesting. It kind of forces you to do different things then. Okay. So this is probably where if you'd have kept it inside of the temple, this part would be a lot harder. What I want to see is what happens once you separate the boss, basically. You know, as you, like, separate the arms and the head. So there you go. That was kind of interesting. So this is, like, completely irrelevant. But I just had this thought while I was here in the temple, which I think would be really cool. So it would be cool if in 1.4, these temples, they actually had, like, the proximity sensors in them. So some of the traps don't, you know, activate from pressure plates. They just activate from the sensor. But the reason I think this would be cool is because for new players that are not necessarily into wiring as much, they might disable the sensor and then be like, oh, like, what's this? This is really cool. I might try this while wiring. Do you know what I mean? I might put that idea forward. I think that's kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know the logistics. I haven't really thought about it too much. I was just walking through and I was like, that'd be pretty sick. I'd like that. So I'm just back here right now because I'm gathering up, you know, just some like stuff to spawn in Golem, and that's it pretty much. I'm just gonna bail out of here. There's nothing I really want. That's the thing. There's nothing I really like want anything surrounding this boss. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm doing a very good job of explaining myself. What I mean is like Golem is such an interesting boss because I feel like it's like almost filler in Terraria. Like, you go Plantera, Golem, instantly. That's it done. There's not really much, like, to do around it. I guess there is. I mean, you can go to... Can you go to the dungeon now? Is that what you do? You go get, like, Spectre? But most people do that after Golem, right? I don't know. I don't know. We've still got all of these to do as well. There are some things that I do want to see in Masochist mode. Like, although I probably won't use anything, I kind of want to see what's going on here. And Duke Fishron, man. Everyone's saying I should save Duke Fishron for after the Moonlord. I'm guessing what happens is there's one version of Masochist Duke Fishron. You kill Moonlord, and then there's another version. And I want to see if I can try both. I want to see if I can, like, spot a big difference. Although, I'm so worried for it. Everybody's like, yeah, you'll just die. And I'm like, really? That's probably not great. Okay, I'm going to turn these pygmies off, and I'm going to go back to using the eyeballs. I also haven't seen Plantera do anything interesting, so I feel like if this doesn't evolve soon, like a Pokemon, I think I'm going to scrap it. I think I'm going to go to something else. Okay, let's try Golem again. Once again, I don't know if I'm going to get the big win, you know? I don't know if I'm just, like, completely underestimating this boss and that, you know, this beginning phase is, like, all good and easy. So we'll have to see. I did notice that above its head, it actually spawned in a couple of spiky balls, and those spiky balls were doing quite a lot of damage to me. I feel like that's what this boss is currently relying on. It's relying on basically making sure that you fly over it and then get stomped by some of the attacks that spawn above. So I feel like having it outside and just having all of this movement, this freedom, oh, it's amazing. Alright, sorry about this. There's going to be like a weird jump cut. I got a phone call, so let me unpause and like get back into this. So I got a comment yesterday that like kind of cracked me up, and it was like, James, all you seem to do is talk about your car or driving. And do you know what? I think you're right, because recently there's been definitely an upward trend of car stories. It began with the engine shaking like crazy before my my drive to the airport for New York, which was kind of annoying. And then the story of, you know, how I almost perished on the motorway. And then, like, obviously my car had a flat tire yesterday. And I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm just kind of old and kind of boring. And these are, like, proper, before my time, but kind of like dad stories. Do you know what I mean? I just want to chat about cars. Anybody want to talk about that? See, the thing is, I know that I'm kind of, like, boring in that sense. Because the highlight of my day today was I made a beef stew. And it was the first beef stew I've ever made. And it was just like, just a great experience all around. I got a slow cooker for Christmas, which is probably the most boring gift you can get. Second to a pair of socks and a Link's bath set. But I was actually very grateful for this slow cooker. And this stew that I made was the bomb.com. My house it was weird because I went out and I left it like stewing away, as you do. And I came back and my house smelled like a nana's house. Because old people just love a good bit of stew. And that's basically what it was like here. Did it really heal? I don't get what's happening here. Oh, the body's opened up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So that's the masochist mode twist there. Boy, I kind of like it. I think that was good. I think one more attempt and I might have cracked that one though. Unless I'm being naive, I think that one was going really well. So I started talking about stew. I will be honest, I'm just thinking back to it. Oh, it was undelish. Very nice. Actually, I'm going to scrap that and do the responsible thing, which is farm out for a better weapon. Because although the pygmy staff would probably get us through, or like the twins one, the one we were actually using, if we go for the deadly sphere staff, that'll probably be a lot better. So I'm going to go for that. It means doing the solar eclipse, which is an event I actually hate like a lot. But if there's a cool masochist twist, then it'll be worth showing. And I don't think I would do it any other time. So let's just say, I'm doing this for you boys, alright? Be prepared. Okay, now I'm not going to show the whole thing, because it is going to be so boring. And like I say, I don't really want to do it. But I'm just going to crack on with it, right? Solar eclipse time. I think a Mothron straight out of the gate is exactly what nobody wanted to see. Thank you very much. Okay, this is going to be harder than I thought, and I'm already not about it. Look at this. Look at this. We be weak. Very weak. So I think for this one, it's just going to be about just maintaining movement, just moving along and trying not to die, which is probably impossible. Why did I ever do this? My poor, poor arms dealer. Look at him. He's got no chance. Although he's still alive. You know what? He survived longer than we did. And I'm actually kind of proud. I did think he would die straight away. Alright, so checking in. This event is a lot more manageable if you don't have Mothron. I've basically just been, like, flying backwards and forwards, just letting it do its thing. I've noticed some, like, small changes. For example, some of the enemies seem to be a lot faster. The one with the knife, I think, like, Psycho. That one is definitely a lot quicker. It just kind of charges at you. And I also noticed that the Izor breathes fire, which is kind of cool. I think that's, like, a nice little change. If I see anything else, I'll let you know. But until then, I'm just going to be, like, grinding out the event. Because it doesn't seem to be, like, way, way, way different. But then again, I wouldn't really expect it. This event is, like, pretty hard just on its own anyway. So, not too much you can do to it. But these are what we're trying to kill. We're trying to kill the deadly spheres. So, after I said yesterday, though, that I don't really ever play Summoner very often, that did prompt a lot of requests for a modded Summoner series. I actually would be fully on board with this. The only thing is, I don't fully know everything about Summoner, so it would be a bit of a learning curve, because I don't know all of the items and such, but a learning curve's, like, kind of fun. So, maybe I'll put it on the list, but maybe I'll let you guys vote, because I do know that a modded mage series is long overdue, and people are kind of excited for that. But, you know, opinions change, you know, depending on the feels, and Summoner might be next. Who knows? We've got a lot of time, I guess, before 1.4, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know when it comes out. But if we don't have a lot of time, well, if we do have a lot of time before 1.4, we'll do a lot. We'll do, like, a whole bunch. I'm just like, it doesn't really matter what I'm playing. I just like playing Terraria, truthfully. It's like, I don't know, it's like, it's a good part of my day. I really enjoy it. So yeah, there's that. Just thought I'd address it, because I did see a lot of comments about it yesterday. So we just remembered that this event is how you get stuff like the Neptune's shell and the Moonstone. So knowing that there are a bunch of mega accessories that need to be made at some point, it probably is actually a good idea that I'm farming this out now, because it's more than likely that I'll need some of those items. So yeah, kind of cool. So this little Plantera thing I got is actually really cool, I've noticed. So what it does is, it fires out petals like Plantera, but every now and again, it sends out one of those deadly balls, which always seem to kill me. And then they get to, they bounce around, like, quite a lot. Does a good amount of damage. So I actually think it's kind of cool. I feel like it would be better if it was a bit larger. So it looked a bit more like Plantera and it was a bit more aggressive. Almost like a Plantera summon. That would be so sick. And it would definitely fit in line with, like, some of the other stuff that you get in Fargo's mod. But yeah, I would say, actually, it gets an overall win. Especially because it increases life regen. It's nice. I like having my own little Plantera. Pretty cool. I like having any of my own boss, though, to be honest. Like, I'm a bit of a sucker for it. Because, like, here I am making my Destroyer build work. Because I think the Destroyer is like a little boss. Sorry, is a little, like, companion. Is ace. So, just as a little bit of a warning, I tried to spawn in Golem again after my farming. And it crashed at the very same point. So, there might be an issue with that boss. It might just be me today. I don't really know. Not a tech wizard like some other people. So let me buff up and see if I can get into this. But it works. It's worked once, right? And that's good enough. And the good thing about Terraria crashes is that it doesn't really, like, lose you too much. Like, I lost, like, a minute of gameplay. That's it. You know, whatever, right? Okay. It begins. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be silent for a little bit and try and focus on what I'm doing. But you'll know when I get close to the end, I'll start chatting away again. But I want to make sure I focus and do a better job this time because stew talk really, like, cost me the fight. And I want to do this properly, or at least, like, give it my best attempt. I've noticed, by the way, this is another one of those bosses in the Fargo's mod that basically heals if you're not doing constant damage. I was waiting for my Destroyer gun to recharge, you know, because it's based on mana, right? And I was like, you're healing. So that's one thing, you know, if you're doing the fight, just keep that in mind. If you're like unobservant like me, you know, worth considering. The fight's going good so far, but if you look at my health, having half health now probably ain't like the best place to be in. But we'll see. I guess it all depends on, you know, what other attacks it's going to do. Like that, for example, a bunch of boulder boys. That's clearly like going to cost you a fight. Alright, I'm into the second phase again, where the head is going to become a laser. So I should probably remember that I've got myself a rod of Discord. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm actually going to remember. It just means that, like, I'm kind of, like, subconsciously aware of it. But we'll see what happens. I guess right now... Oh, I despawned it. You know what? That's actually kind of fair because I was flying away quite a bit. Golem probably doesn't think you're going to fly away that much. I will say this, if you were inside of a temple right now, you would not win that fight. It's really hard, like, because there are so many, you know, things going on. It doesn't want you to fly. You need, like, a big range of movement for that fight to make it viable. Well, I think I'm going to end today's episode there, guys. I think what we'll do is tomorrow, we'll maybe come back, do it as a summoner. If not, we can change some things up. There are definitely, like, some accessories I could be making right now as well. And, you know, I don't want to rush anything. So that's going to be it. Guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give it a big fat thumbs up. And I was meant to say this at the start. I always forget. And that's why I'm like a bad YouTuber. If you are new to the channel, maybe this is the first video that you've watched. Or maybe you've binged like a couple of today. You know, I understand. I do that too. Maybe consider clicking the subscribe button. It takes a second. And it basically means that YouTube will recommend more of my stuff to you. Which you might like if you're this far in. Okay, see you all next time, guys. Peace.